extraordinary thing. You know that? You throw me in the madhouse. You strip away everything I have, everything I know. You treat me like a rabid dog, like a mad woman. And you know what happens? I'm blessed with the gift of total clarity.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Greg and Ryan here for another breakdown for American Horror Story Asylum. This is episodes 11 and 12.
We're at the finish line almost right here.
Almost
We're gonna finish the entire season before the holidays, so make sure you're subscribed, like the video, come back and show us some love. Thank you guys for watching. Now, Greg, episode 11 is called Spilt Milk. Yeah.
It's just like coat hanger. You're like, oh, I wonder what they're going to talk about. I wonder what it's going to be.
I had no idea. I did not expect this turn. But we're back in the present day, which is 2012, with Bloody Face, Johnny Morgan, Bloody Face 2.0. And he has a little bit of a fetish.
Yes, he has a breast milk fetish. One fun fact, adult suckling, apparently pre-industrial England, it was used to cure illnesses sometimes.
Yeah, and no judgment at all, obviously. It makes sense for, I guess, throughout the course of mankind to think that the nutrients from that are sent for a baby might be helpful down the road. So I'm sure there were regular uses in day-to-day life back in the day. But also erotic lactation is a thing, and Johnny Morgan is an example of someone who's suffering from a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, and this is his way of coping with it.
Okay, now we're back to 1965, Asylum Common Room, and apparently it's okay to have a baby in there now. Grace and Pepper are in there.
I was like, there's no way this baby hangs around for long.
It didn't last that long.
Because you should not have a baby in an
insane
asylum. In my notes,
I was like, WTF, what is going on? Why is there a baby here? And then quickly, Monsignor Howard comes in, and they just shoo that baby away. Like, what was it, like a scene or two later? Yeah. It's very quick.
And that baby was named Thomas after, I guess, her grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the big thing here is that Grace confirms with Kit that she, in fact, did see Alma. She very vividly remembers her experience with the aliens, and it's kind of it's more of a positive. She sees it as a positive thing.
Yes. Yeah. She's like, I saw the light. There's more out there than what we see here. Kit's kind of like, okay, sure, but
I see Kit and Alma as being more terrified and scared of the whole thing, and Grace is like very accepting and like, these are special beings from another planet.
Listen to them.
Yeah.
A funny line that kind of made me smirk a little bit was the line from, I think, Kit to Grace, or how did the baby grow so fast?
You're getting some Michael Langdon vibes right there?
Just a little. I mean, how can you not?
And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but at this very moment when I realized what was going on, I was thinking like, what's going on with this kid? Like, is he special? Does he have some sort of abilities? Like, remember, like, she was dead, and then now she comes back pregnant with the help of aliens. So didn't really know where they were going with this.
Alien DNA. Here we go. This is what started it all. We heard it all this season on AHS Apocalypse. Alien DNA. And this is where it stems from.
I didn't think I could survive it. But it was him. Our baby.
Now, Lana is still in the asylum.
Yes.
At this point, she's still in there, but not for long because Mother Claudia is going to get her out.
Yes, thanks to Jude, who finally, realized what she's done and kind of all the bad things that she's done in her life and wants kind of, fix all those things. And she kind of tells Mother Claudia that, like, hey, she does not belong here. I forced her against her will to be here. She is the voice that's going to kind of uncover all of the dark secrets in the asylum.
And she wants her to write an expose, apparently, on all of Briarcliff to reveal all the secrets and get it out there. We'll see how that goes.
One big thing here, Lana promises Judy that she'll be back and save her and get her out. It's hard, as soon as that happened, I was like, don't promise. It's always a difficult thing because I don't want to be too optimistic to think that Judy would also get freed from the current predicament that she's in.
No, me too. Let's talk about that cool scene, or intense scene, where Kit is trying to distract Thredson just long enough so Lana can like sneak past him on the stairs.
Yeah, I was like, it was so tense. It was really well executed. She has the confession tape in her hand, and she's slightly covered up, but like not really in disguise enough. And Kit just does the really amazing move of distract. As soon as he locked eyes with her, distracts Thredson, so Thredson was inches away of finding her right there. And I kind of had a feeling that it was going to work this way because she she got out the time before. She was able to sneak past. I didn't think that they were going to stop her again at the doors or anything like that. I think it would have been silly to have her just keep on trying to escape.
Exactly.
Like let her get out into the world and see what happens after that. So really excellent job. And then can we just talk about
the most
iconic, one of the most iconic shots in not only in the season but one of the most iconic shots.
She got past them so they could have that shot.
Yeah,
right
in the taxi ride. You guys all know what we're talking about. I mean,
Thredson's like, wait, something's up.
Yeah,
Goes
and
outside and down those stairs in the cab. Bam.
I think it might be one of the best moments in American Horror Story across the 8 seasons.
Now let's move forward to the final showdown with Lana and Thredson. She's back at his house. She's got a gun. This is like Jackie Brown and everything combined in one scene. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's like the tables have turned.
Yeah.
You think one's got the upper hand. Thredson's it's over for him here.
Totally. And what'd you think? I wanted to ask you this. What'd you think about the idea of her not going to the cops and just kind of taking it into her own hands? Do we think that she should have went straight to the cops, or do you like the idea of her just kind of?
Didn't they go to the cops already the first time around and say something about that? But then, because they're in an asylum, it didn't work out. And this time around, she did call the police. Remember, she said she
called the police to the house.
We saw the lights. So she did her job, but she wanted to see his face one last time.
She needed to do it herself. Yeah.
Yes.
God knows there are some disturbed individuals behind bars. As for you, I have no use for you anymore. Best you should just be known as my last victim.
Greg, were you satisfied with the death, though? Remember what he's done to. Remember what horrible things he's done to like everyone.
What are you gonna
bunch
do?
of people.
You're gonna tie him down. You're gonna torture him for days. What if he gets out? He's bloody face. So
I mean, he does deserve a little bit taste of his own medicine.
Put him out of his.
I'm not saying turning him into a lampshade, but I'm just saying. The guy deserves a.
Not enough time. Police are on their way.
That's true.
Like we already talked about how Kit is a good person. He saves Grace. He
Yeah,
brings her out of Briar
he kind of
Brook, too.
forces the Monsignor to let her go because she's officially dead on her death certificate, but also he has so much dirt on the asylum that he's like, I'm going to tell everybody about what's going on if you don't let her out. And it's kind of a beautiful moment when he offers her a home and they have this family now until surprise Alma back.
She's alive.
Alma back.
Okay. Okay, aliens, hey.
I mean, it is believable because, Grace came back.
True.
With the baby.
Yes.
So,
I'm not
I
shocked.
shouldn't be, in the moment I was shocked, but I really shouldn't be too shocked because, the aliens clearly have the technology and wherewithal to do all of this.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing and crazy that it's always targeted around Kit.
Yes.
And the people around him.
Why? Kit?
I mean, maybe it goes back to the nature of him as a person. Maybe
Good-natured human being.
He is maybe one of the perfect shining examples of the human race. All right, time now to talk about some most valuable performances from this episode. What's your pick?
Johnny Morgan, Dylan McDermott. I'm sorry, the scene right where you can freeze frame it. Hopefully I can just freeze frame it right here for you. His face and this moment for this actor, I'm thinking, man, you really gotta be dedicated. This is awesome. This is AHS, and really, this is the only place you're gonna see a scene like that.
Yeah, the way that he plays this character with the roller coaster of emotions,
so good.
How fragile he is, but also how psychotic he turns in an instant. I think he did an incredible job. And what's really interesting is, obviously he played a therapist in Murder House back in season 1, to come back a couple years later and now play on the opposite end of that coin. We saw earlier with the therapist thing that he was when he was in a session, and now he's dealing with this escort.
McDermott, he's game. After seeing Apocalypse in the jagging off in the mirror, the window, crying, now this makes more sense watching this season, even more so.
He's pretty much, and I've read in interviews over the years that whatever Ryan Murphy throws his way, he's just yep, I'm on board. So a good sport, and obviously he can play so many different levels of a character.
Kathy Bates and Dylan McDermott, give them something juicy for season 9. I can't wait.
Yeah. Also, by the way, shout out to Levon Demers down in our YouTube comments. you made a good note that we totally overlooked last episode.
Yes, the therapist who was dealing with Johnny is actually the same woman from Silence of the Lambs. That's pretty cool.
Mister, my family will pay cash. Whatever ransom you're asking for, they'll pay it.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Yes, you will, precious. You will get the hose.
Favorite moments? Come on, it's easy for me here. If I'm going first, it's got to be Lana in the taxi, given the "I see you later, buddy."
I agree with you, 100%. I'm gonna cheat right here. I'm gonna say the entire sequence down that staircase into the taxi cab. So you have the cab, I have the staircase. That entire sequence, all of it, it's a really tense moment, and you're cheering for her obviously to get out of there safely, and then it's the ultimate shade that she throws at him when she's in the taxi cab was just perfectly executed.
Yes. All right, let's jump into episode 12 now. Continuum.
Yeah, I looked up Continuum. Obviously, it's like a collection. It's a whole categorized by like a collection or a sequence of events that you would categorize as one whole thing. So I can only think of it as the different acts that this kind of episode takes, how it's broken down into structures
Lana,
of it.
Kit's storyline. It looks like, and also we have everything still going on at the church with Jude.
With Jude and the Angel of Death. So,
yes.
All that together makes a continuum of events that kind of all stem from the asylum itself and kind of the fallout from the asylum.
Daddy?
Daddy'll be there in a minute.
Now, after episode 10, you got your good ending. You got, Threadson's gone, Bloody Face is dead, Kit and Grace are out of the asylum, even Alma's back.
What could go wrong?
It's perfect. And then Ryan Murphy and crew decide to turn the car around on us.
Oh, yeah.
And say, it's not over. It is not over. You're not getting your happy ending. It's all bittersweet. And we'll come back to that later. But right now, the opening scene just changes everything then and there for you.
And it is an excellent example of misdirection by them. You see Kit, and it looks like he had murdered somebody in his house.
You should know, okay, something's up. This is the first scene. You know there's something, the context here.
I initially thought that something happened, that the aliens came back, and some sort of mind control was going on.
Yeah, someone was possessed.
Some possession was going on, and that, obviously that we were far from having that happy ending that you talked about. It was just really well done. I mean, I was hooked. I was like, holy shit, we're back. We're going back.
It's not over. Now we're going back before the incident with Alma, Grace, and Kit, and their happy family.
They're making it work, and it's a little bit unique, as let's say during the time, at least in the '60s too.
Wow.
Obviously with the racial tensions going on in the city as well, but also now you have multiple wives, which is illegal in the state as well.
One of which murdered their family.
Yeah, one of which is a murderer.
Axe murderer.
Axe murderer, but she's already dead. New identity.
Yes.
So it's a very unique situation, let's say. Also, Alma looks at the entire experience much differently than Grace does. So you knew that there's going to be a lot of just butting heads going there.
Alma is definitely dealing with some PTSD from the alien encounter and coming back, and so it's rough all around for everyone here.
You really think your life was so much better before? Before my husband brought home an axe murderer? Yes. They locked you away for a reason, Grace.
So Grace is really embracing everything about the aliens. She's drawing portraits of them, for.
And it might be a little bit too much. Some of that stuff might not be kid friendly to be drawing every single day. I get Alma's perspective that way, but also you can't just completely forget about the past and what you went through. I think there's a balance somewhere in there.
Alma apparently disagrees with that. She was not having it. So, what was Kit doing around this time where this was going down?
You think that they have some more family meetings to not get to.
He brings up, it's time for a family meeting.
Right. Maybe a little bit more aggressive. Plan those out a little bit more every day, maybe daily family meetings, because it went totally to the extreme.
0 to 100, and now Grace is gone.
Yeah,
quickly.
And you know what? I actually had a problem with this because Alma, it really came out of left field, and I did not see the character of Alma making this big of a heel turn into a axe murderer.
Yeah, this is one of those, we gotta, come on guys, let's wrap this story up.
Let's think of something, let's add something in there.
Let's add something in there and let's get this over with. We only have 2 episodes left. That's immediately what I thought. I didn't like it. I didn't like the idea of how Grace is just immediately chopped down, but they're sweet.
I just didn't believe Alma as a murderer. Like, I mean, she never kind of came across as that. Obviously, a traumatic, it's a traumatic experience to go through what she went through and to have the situation that they're living in. But, I mean, you know, a couple arguments in the kitchen, you know, they don't get along, like, you know.
How it goes straight to
months before.
Axe, bam.
Yeah, and then months before, she was like, you know, go spend time with her, go be with her, you know, and they're sleeping together in the room next door, and now she's gonna kill her. Like, it just seemed a little bit far-fetched.
Let's go back to Judy for a second.
Judy.
She's under a new nickname now. Was it Betty Drake?
Betty Drake, not to be confused with Betsy Drake, who was, you know, a big-time Hollywood actress that was married to Cary Grant at one point. Fun fact.
Hey.
You know, she has a thing for some of the big Hollywood actresses of the day. Yeah, sad time for her. She's stuck in the asylum, and it does not look good at all.
Yeah, Monsignor Howard visits her again. He pulls
This
her
guy.
to the side.
The nerve on this guy.
He says, "I'm gonna get you out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you out,
He's
buddy."
like, I'm getting a raise, I'm getting promoted, I'll be in New York, but
Bye.
I promise to you, another person promising to Jude
Promise.
that he's working on a release to get her out, that she will not have to be in here much longer.
One big thing in that exchange between Jude and Howard is they are donating the asylum to the state. Oh boy.
They're like, let's get our hands clean of this thing. Like we don't want any part of this.
That's where I'm like, oh god, this is just gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's gonna get much worse. Now it becomes like an overflow facility, and it's just completely mismanaged, and it is horrible. It should completely just be shut down, and
Everything is
resources
horrible
should be sent
now.
elsewhere. Now Jude has problems of her own. She's obviously going into she's breaking her mentally because she's been in that place for so long and in confinement for so long.
The medication.
And the medication. She is haunted by the image of Shakath, the angel of death, and even sees her. It's unclear whether she looked very similar or to the act to.
It's alluded to that it's not actually her, but she just sees that.
It's not actually her, but Frances Conroy comes back to play another character.
Yes.
That Jude sees as the angel of death, when in fact she's not at all. But she is a very menacing figure in the place. And then we find out that in fact Jude has been kind of hard to get along with, and she's been attacking other people that are staying with her because she's unstable, and she sees this angel of death all around her, and she's just in and out of consciousness and stability. So then we find out that Monsignor has been gone for like over 2.5 years, and Judy thought it was like last week. A lot has changed over the course of that time, including poor Pepper.
She's gone. Pepper's
Moment
gone.
of silence for Pepper. So sad for Jude,
so sad.
who,
It's heartbreaking.
She really, she does some horrible things in her life, obviously. She's come to terms with that and been humbled by it, and she tried to turn her life around, but now she's just like the crazy old lady in the detention center. And now by 1969, Lana has a best-selling book.
Maniac.
Maniac, one woman's story of survival, where she talks about Dr. Thredson and how she overcame all that.
It's her Truman Capote in Cold Blood book, basically.
And she obviously is making big bucks now. She's touring all over the place, book signings. She's still haunted by everything that happened, obviously, still.
Yes.
But she's less of the investigative reporter that we thought that she might become.
She turned to Oprah.
And she turned into the Oprah, but not even like Oprah. I think it's like worse than Oprah in terms of like sellout.
No.
Like,
it's
not like
completely,
Oprah.
She sold out.
An exaggerated
100%,
exaggerated Oprah. It's total sellout. Trying to sell film rights, book deals, and not really concerned about who we thought she was concerned about, which is those people that are in the asylum.
In Briarcliff, Nope, not at all. She could care less. Now, Kit meets up with Lana after all this.
Kit's like, I'm not impressed by you at all. What happened to you, Lana?
What is going on? One cool thing / disturbing, she told him about Lee Emerson. in his
Yeah.
breakout.
We called it, right? He did get out and he did kill people.
He killed 7 nuns, apparently.
Horrible. I mean, hopefully they caught him after that, but now they're just like gonna try to tell the stories and stuff like that. But like,
I think they caught. I don't know if they actually caught him. But we're gonna say that they did.
Yeah, I think so, and let's hope that he's in a much a more secure prison or on death row, wherever he's being handled, and he's not, under the management of someone like Monsignor Timothy Howard, or
Frank, or anyone like that.
Yeah, let's get some good security around him, please.
So Alma, after she chopped up Grace, she is now in the asylum. Okay, all right. We keep coming back around there, but the reason for this, obviously, so Kit can see Jude.
Yes. And one little funny detail there is that Jude is watching The Flying Nun on TV, which was an old TV show that was on for a few years, and it was like one of the sisters could fly. She had like superhero powers.
Sally Fields
yeah.
was in that show. Yeah.
And at the end of this episode, one question I had was just, are you shocked by Lana and how she's kind of...
Her character motivations have changed so much?
Yeah, how she's evolved into this new character.
Not at all, and also you're almost prepared for it at this point because every character is just sucks, except for Kit.
Right.
And even Kit, he's having a bad moment with everything with Alma and Grace. This episode really changes from episode 11. It just takes you in a completely different way and says these characters are broken, and it's going to be bittersweet.
That's a great point. I mean, a lot of these characters have been broken, have been traumatized heavily. So you expect some sort of change to happen, some sort of fracture to happen in how they think and what's been going on and the experience that they've had in the asylum. So shouldn't be too shocking that she kind of was like, you know what, I'm just going to get mine. I'm going to try to make some money, and I'm
getting out of the hood.
I'm free. Time now for most valuable performances. Greg, who you got?
Johnny Morgan at the very end.
Back-to-back episodes, Morgan, huh? Coming through.
This line he delivers to whoever is running that bookstore, because he's looking for the last copy. They have the last copy of Maniac signed by his mother. And he just says this.
When she fully understands who it is standing in front of her, I'll take out my 9mm handgun, point it at her face, and pull the trigger. And finally, I would have completed my father's work. But first, I'm gonna need that book.
I really think that I'm gonna pick Kit for this one, Evan Peters. I think there's, a stand-up guy, and he kind of just trashes Lana and basically just tells her,
"Who are you?
What have you become?" And he's doing his best to kind of motivate her to, remember the people that she left behind and what happened to all of them. And he's done his part, and he's waiting for others around him to kind of pick up the slack and uncover the secrets of the asylum. All right, episode 12, our favorite moments. What are you thinking?
This exchange between Jude and Monsignor Howard, still at the time, not Cardinal yet.
Please, Jude, don't be childish.
Childish? Hell, I'm the queen of Candyland.
Speaking of Sister Jude, I just think the entire sequence of her, kind of her downfall and being stuck in the asylum, and then all that heavily over-medicated, it's very crushing. But I found her so effective, Jessica Lange, as an actress there, and seeing the Angel of Death in like every day-to-day thing that she's doing. I think it was just very, very well executed. All right, that's it for episodes 11 and 12. We have one more episode left until the entire season of Asylum has been broken down.
Yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know any questions you have in the comment section down below.
See you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.